What is up, you guys? We're back with another video and back to a real discussion. So now today we're going to do a real talk on two particularly favorite games of mine in the Souls series, and that is Bloodborne and Elden Ring right now. So I played through Elden Ring long enough now to kind of get a grasp of the game and kind of compare it to Bloodborne. I haven't beaten Elden Ring yet, so I don't know all the last couple of bosses. I still got a lot to go actually in Elden Ring, so still a lot to explore in the damn game. I still got the top half of the map to discover. So. But I still got a grasp of how the game works. You know what I'm saying? So, kind of compare. This is gonna be like a Bloodborne versus Elden Ring type deal for me because I've been having a real fight with this, man. One, it's like I love Bloodborne. Bloodborne was my #1 Souls game before Elden Ring, right? Before Elden Ring came out, Bloodborne was my #1. Right now, I'm still feeling like it is my #1. Over, like, because I love Elden Ring, don't get me wrong. I love Elden Ring. I'm going to have to wait until I actually beat it to actually get a final confirmation if Elden Ring is my favorite over Bloodborne. But right now, as far as how I've gotten it far, like, Elden Ring is an amazing game. It's really redefining, like, how to do certain type of open world games. I can't say, like, because, like, Breath of the Wild was definitely one of the things that, you know, oh yeah, this is how you do open world games. This is how you make it fun. And to me, I think Elden Ring expanded a little bit more on that. Because I just the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I love that game, but it was a good game. I just wasn't compelled to finish it. Unlike Elden Ring, oh yeah, this shit's getting like I can't stop playing this shit. Can't stop playing it, mainly because it is a Souls game too. For one. Souls games always get played with me. I've been playing Souls games since Demon Souls on PS3, all the way up to now. So, yeah, no, it was gonna get played. But let's talk about Bloodborne for a little bit here. Now, one thing that I love that what Bloodborne does is that, I don't know, man, the gameplay for the game was just very, very epic, man. I really enjoyed the gameplay. Back when I played Bloodborne and I was going through the game, the atmosphere of the game was just, man, the atmosphere of the game was ridiculous. It was nice. Also spoiler warnings for anybody who haven't played Bloodborne. This is like one of the last boss fights. Actually, one of my footage of one of the last boss fights. And man, like the game was actually just too dope, man. It was just way too dope. Like I'm gonna go back. I have another video just to show you the atmosphere of how this game was. It was really, really ridiculous. Hold on, turn my volume down a little bit. Since I'm not doing any like gameplay or anything, just mainly music. Let's go and look at so the atmosphere in Bloodborne. One thing I loved about the game is it was really gore. It was like really gothic, gothic and really dark, right? It was really gothic and really dark, and I can't say like the music was like all that great, but I mean it was still it went along with the game, right? But Cainhurst out Moral Guard. Yeah, this is it. But yeah, like the atmosphere of the game, man, it was pretty ridiculous, man. Like traversing through this castle here was pretty sick. Yeah, I was going back and looking at my old videos for Elden Ring. I mean, for Bloodborne. I was like, dude, this game's atmosphere was just fucking sick, man. It was just really dark, gothic, and it just had some very creepy moments in the game. It was actually kind of like a horror game. I will put it along the lines of it being actually like a horror game, man, because you had some really crazy shit that you went up against in this game. and all the enemies and some of the enemies were just completely grotesque and nasty. Like, they were some real horror things that I would run away from. Whereas Elden Ring, man, I'm like, oh, what is that? I want to fight that. You do get some grotesque enemies in Elden Ring too, don't get me wrong. But I don't know, it was something about Bloodborne that just looked like it jumped out of a fucking horror movie. Like, have you ever seen that movie, The Thing? By, what was it, John Carpenter? I think John Carpenter did that one with Kurt Russell. If you ever seen that movie, it was like fighting different versions of that fucking monster in The Thing. That's what like fighting shit in Bloodborne was like, man. I had a lot of fun with Bloodborne. It was it's like I said, it's still one of my favorite games, man. It's not particularly harder or anything like that, but it was still just freaking great. I will skip to the boss fight so you guys can see like the type of bosses, that you ran into in this game, man. Like, look at this. Like, it's so creepy. It's so creepy. So creepy, man. Bloodborne, man, it's just so freaking good. But let's talk about how it compares up with Elden Ring, right? So, the way I feel about Elden Ring, right? Elden Ring, it does a great job of bringing you up into an open world, man. It does a really great job of that. The open world is nice, it's fun, and you just can't wait to explore to give you that fantasy feel. It definitely gives a more fantasy feel than what Bloodborne does. Bloodborne is like dark, throws you into this dark world. It's not. I can't say it's more fantasy. It's more like a timepiece, like an old timepiece, like during the plague times or whatever. And that's what it reminds me of, man. And you go and like fighting, like, look at this boss, man. Like, look how, and then the gameplay. Well, we go on to Elden Ring, but I'm talking about the gameplay in Bloodborne was just fucking sick. I do not know why they have not made an HD version of this game yet, y'all. But if you go back and look at my videos, you'll see all my Bloodborne videos on here back when I played this game. All right, so let's go back to Elden Ring. Let's talk about Elden Ring, right? So Elden Ring's open world. This is pretty much like their first attempt at an open world game, right? So playing Elden Ring, man. When I first started the game out, the game was it was nice. Like, I was like, God dang, this is a big, beautiful world. It feels Lord of Ringish. It feels like I just like Game of Thrones. I just want to go and explore all the fantasy type stuff in the game. Now, one thing I can say about both of these games is the story. The story is like all over the place. Like, but Bloodborne matches with Elden Ring on this. Even though I understood Bloodborne's a little bit more than Elden Ring so far, Elden Ring has so many different NPCs, man. It's kind of hard to keep up. Had to get a drink of water, but it's still hard to keep up with it, right? So I'm sitting there when I go and I meet an NPC or I miss an NPC, and I be like, God dang, I really want to know what that character, what happens to this character somewhere down the line. And sometimes you don't really know because sometimes the character go off and do their own things. Even like with this Ranni story quest that I'm doing on Elden Ring, I'm just like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to be doing? Like, what does she want? Like, what is her ultimate goal? Not to be a puppet no more? Or what is her ultimate goal? Why is Blade the blacksmith, the giant, and that weird ass Seluvis sorcerer guy that turns people into puppets? What are their goals? So we'll see once we beat the game. Like, once we do, because I want to shoot for her quest ending. They have many quest endings in the game, but I really want to shoot for hers. So, like I said, it's like the thing about Elden Ring is just the open world mechanic of the game and the sense of adventure and exploring. Now, Bloodborne, compared to Bloodborne locked you in pretty much of exploring different types of areas. You didn't have the freedom that Elden Ring gives you, which Elden Ring wins over a lot of the old. So that's pretty much its greatest accomplishment over the other Souls game is its freedom. This game has a lot of freedom for you to go around and explore, adventure, find crazy bosses, find hidden weapons like magic and stuff like that, and find beautiful areas that you find in the world. And I think that is what really sets Elden Ring apart from the rest of the Souls games. For Bloodborne though, I have to say Bloodborne's gameplay was faster. I still feel like the Elden Ring still feels like Dark Souls. It doesn't feel like Bloodborne. Bloodborne was its own type of gameplay on its own. So what I think Bloodborne wins over Elden Ring, I have to say I like the atmosphere. I like the atmosphere, and I like the gameplay just a tad bit more. Just a tad bit more in Elden Ring, if I do say so myself. Elden Ring's gameplay it feels too much like Dark Souls. It feels too much like Dark Souls. But even though they had some pretty sick weapons and some pretty sick, like, now weapons and materials and magic and stuff, Elden Ring wins by tenfold. Water. Elden Ring's by tenfold when it comes to magic, weapons, and different type of weapons and stuff that you get. But so I give it that. I give Elden Ring the weapons, the magic, and the exploration. Those are the three strong points of Elden Ring. All the different shit that you can do, all the different builds you can do. Now Bloodborne did limit that. Bloodborne, you couldn't really have like different builds per se. You can have you couldn't have different builds. It was more like an action game, depending on what weapon you had. You had different weapons that you can use later on in the game. You could use like different like beast moves and stuff like that, which I didn't really do too much delve into in the game. I pretty much just delve into like different armor. If I threw like now fire, I use fire. Like, you did have different things to where you can use, like, fire was a big thing in Bloodborne too. So like fire damaged shit a lot. If you had fire, you was gonna fuck some shit up in Bloodborne. But yeah, man, yeah. So but as far as gameplay wise, I give Bloodborne a slight edge. Exploration, Elden Ring. Weapons, Elden Ring. Magic, Elden Ring. Atmosphere and setting, Bloodborne. Even though I like Elden Ring's world too, it still felt Dark Soulish-y. Bloodborne felt completely fucking different. Like from all the Souls games, it felt completely different. It was dark. It was in weird, crazy areas. It was just really dark. Like I like dark shit. And so it was really, and I love fantasy too. Don't get me wrong, I love fantasy shit too. That's why this is like a debate among myself, really. And instead of like people who have played both of them, because it's a lot of people that played Elden Ring and never played a Souls game, or there's a lot of people that play Elden Ring and other Souls games and never played Bloodborne, because Bloodborne was only on PS4. It never did come out on Xbox consoles, I don't think. I think it was only PS4. And so it didn't even hit PC, man. Elden Ring was on everything. So, yeah. That was accessibility was also a thing that Bloodborne had to fight against, too, against Elden Ring. With Elden Ring, everybody played that shit. Everybody can get on Elden Ring. So, that's what I really hope Bloodborne gets a PC port and an HD remake or master or whatever, because I need to. Man, I really want to play that game in 60 frames. I really want to play that game. It had some technical issues. It did have technical issues, but it was still. And that's crazy that it had technical issues and that game was still fucking amazing, man. Like, it was great compared to Bloodborne. I know that Elden Ring got the higher ratings. Like, Bloodborne has been getting 10s across the board, Where Elden Ring has been getting 10s across the board, whereas Bloodborne I think got like 9s, 9.5s, and stuff like that. I wonder now if I had to compare it to Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 is definitely the best Dark Souls game out of the Souls games. Out of the Dark Souls games and Demon Souls, because even Dark Souls 3 was better than Demon Souls 2. Now the Demon Souls remake, it was good, but it was still Demon Souls. So like it was just graphically beautiful. That was it, but it was still Demon Souls, and it was still a great game. I still enjoyed it. And Bluepoint did a great job, a great job on there. I give those guys their props. Whatever game they fucking remake, they need to do all the remakes. So I would like for them to do if they did Bloodborne's remake. Oh my man. If they did Bloodborne's remake, that would be sick abundance. That would be my game of the year. That would be my game of the year over Elden Ring. I ain't gonna even lie, man. But man, like I said, it's not that I like. It's still a hard decision for me. I still haven't beaten Elden Ring, so I really like. I could do the last boss and be like, fuck, this shit is way better than Bloodborne. What was I thinking about? But like I said, this is really a debate within myself. So I'm really just like, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, I can't decide which one is they're both so great. Of course I could always say they're both great. But it was kind of a thing to where I was like, no, it's one thing that's better than the other and one thing that's not. But it's kind of a debate I want to start up in like my RPG community and amongst you guys too. Like for y'all that play Bloodborne, and for y'all that play Elden Ring, or for y'all that play both of them, or for y'all that have heard about Bloodborne and seen gameplay and watched people play it, and people who've been and watch Elden Ring. Was Elden Ring more entertaining to watch than Bloodborne? Is Bloodborne more entertaining to play than Elden Ring? I just want to hear from the community. What do you guys think? Do you guys think these games are on par with each other, or one is slightly better than the other? There's no discrimination. Y'all speak on it, man. I want to know so we can have a general discussion about it, because to be honest, these two games are two of my favorite games of all time. To be honest with you, Elden Ring and Bloodborne, two of my favorite games of all time, next to Final Fantasy VII, the Persona series, and Final Fantasy, all the other Final Fantasies, because the Final Fantasy is my shit. And I'm still gonna play Strangers of Paradise too, you guys. Just trying to get through this and Genshin Impact and stuff like that. So, anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Tell me what you think about the game. Those were my footages of Bloodborne and Elden Ring. If you guys have not seen it, I have Bloodborne all in my old videos. I might make a playlist of it. It's not that many. I didn't record the whole game. I only did like a few bosses, and you guys can go check those out for yourselves just to see some pretty cool gameplay. It's not no commentary on it, but it's still pretty cool shit. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's debate about this, you guys. And I will see you in the next video. I am out. Peace.